What is up, guys? Hurricane Liz here, back for another video, and this time I'm going to talk about some secret sauce. In fact, this is something that people rarely talk about when it comes to making money on Amazon. However, I've recently started to absolutely crush it with this, and guess what? All the skills that I've actually taught you on all these videos, they move over into this particular department. So today we're going to talk about something called audiobooks. And I know people are out there like, oh God, Liz, this is boring. Like, I don't want to know about books. I don't even know how to write. Hell, I hardly even know how to write. As some of you can tell by the comments that I actually make on the YouTube channel, since I personally answer all those. However, keep in mind that you don't need to know how to write. I'm going to show you all the hacks, all the tricks, and all the things that you can actually do to start making a full-time income using audiobooks. In fact, I'm also going to talk about one really secret source that you'll see somewhere in the middle of the videos that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. But first, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about why we'd want to actually jump into the audiobook niche. There's very little competition, so it's almost comical. So you want to listen up, you want to pay close attention, and you want to see exactly why you should be doing audiobooks. Let's get started. All right, so you might be wondering, why in the heck do I want to even do books, Liz? Like I said before, I can't write. It's questionable even how I even learned how to read, right? But I can tell you for sure that I am not that great a writer. However, I can outsource the entire process. However, why would we want to do books? Well, fact of the matter is that doing books can get very easy leads. And as I said before, I'll cover each topic more in depth here as we go along with the video. But they also provide a tremendous amount of authority for whoever the book is about, which means whether you're a doctor in some city, a plastic surgeon, a chiropractor, anything that you do, it'll seem as more authoritative, right? It also provides social proof because if you've written a book, it's like huge kudos to you. Little do people know that you didn't even write the book to begin with. Finally, you can actually offer this as a service to other people out there that have always wanted to create a book. They just haven't had the time to. And you can quickly create an agency that helps people write, promote, and sell their actual books. And then finally, and I forgot to actually put this one out there because it's probably the most important one, but you can make a lot of money. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I go along in this actual series. So with that being said, let's find out how we're going to find out what type of book we should write about if we have no idea, and where exactly we can tell if the book has a low amount of competition or a high amount of competition. Okay, so the first step is to go to Google and actually search Amazon Kindle bestsellers, and as you can see, I've searched it before, and then you'll want to click into the bestseller Kindle store, and then from there you'll want to look at just the Kindle ebooks. Now remember, this is the start of our actual search, and it's not what you'll do going forward, but it's at least to give you some ideas. So right here, what we want to focus on is non-fiction books only. Unless you're a fantastic writer and or you already have this series in your head and you're a great marketer, you don't want to do fiction, although romance and erotica sell extremely well once you get the hang of this and you can find a good solid writer. Now, I would probably start with either business and money. Dieting is always good. Any type of self-help book. And literally pretty much anything on parenting, religion and spirituality, any kind of things like that sell all pretty well. Here's the self-help. I'm going to jump first into the actual dieting niche and kind of show you what I mean by little to no competition. And what we'll go ahead and start noticing is we can actually even further dive into this. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into diets and weight loss because I want a true idea of what's selling in the diet market. Again, I'm going to pick diets and go at the lowest possible thing that I can. And here's a bunch of diet ideas, but I don't think we need to click any further, but you're going to notice a lot of popular current diets are on here, including Atkins and keto. And if we start looking through here, my actual job and goal as a marketer would be to start jotting down keywords that I see that relate to each book. For example, right here on this one, I see anti-inflammatory. So I would quickly write that down in terms of how it relates to diets. And then I would write down ketogenic diet for beginners because I think as you see, as I scroll through here, I'm very familiar with this niche and I can tell you there is a ton of keto books. Now here's one called Happy Gut. And as we can almost guess, that's about the stomach. And so here's again another keto. Here's a fasting one, which is about intermittent fasting. Here's one, the Bulletproof Cookbook by Dave Asprey. And then we've got, again, the carnivore diet, which is kind of like a play on a name for the keto diet. And we've got one on eating clean and dirty, lazy keto, which again, as you kind of scroll through some of these, you can kind of have a good idea as to which ones are actually from big publishers versus which ones are self-published. This actual cover looks self-published versus this diabetes code. It's pretty simple and it looks like it was from a big publisher. And as you actually have experience in the niche, more and more of these will become apparent. So here again is another one on fasting. And again, this one looks like it probably is self-published. And again, you keep going through here, Mediterranean diet for beginners. A lot of these dieting books and cookbooks are usually published by big publishing places. But again, as we can see, a lot of carnivore, a lot of meat, a lot of keto diets. And if we actually take it a step further, now if we have a list, like I've got anti-inflammatory and I've got keto on there and I've got fasting, right? Now what I can go ahead and do is actually click each of those on here and type out the keywords. So I would put keto diet to get started to figure out what the competition is. So step one, you find a topic, right? In this case, I found keto. Now step two, I'm gonna jump in there and see how the competition is. And let's take a look at keto and see what's going on. What I want to look at is the BSR of each of these actual products. And keep in mind, BSR, the lower it means that more have sold. So the lower a BSR, the more the book sells versus the higher it is. So what you want to look for in a healthy market, in a market that you want to jump into, is a market that has a lot of books on page one that are under 200,000 in BSR. Again, I'm going to repeat that one more time. You want it under 200,000 in BSR, a good majority of the books on the first page. So let's take a look here on the keto. And right away, we have two sponsored ads. Both are doing extremely well in books. In fact, this one is 69, which means it's selling. It's fire, right? This one's 76.59. Again, two really good ones. Here's one 25,000. Here's one 32,000, 9,400. And I'm looking right here. Guys and gals, if you don't have this actual extension, it's called Amazon DS Quick View, I believe. Let's take a look. Amazon DS Quick View right there. You want to grab this extension because it'll show you the BSR on the listings page as opposed to having to click into each one and then scroll all the way down here. If you don't want to get the extension, if you're all worried about what you can catch on the internet, right? Coronavirus will not be caught on the internet. You want to click down here and take a look at the actual BSR, which is down here, 9,400. So if you want to do it the hard way or the easy way, you'll want to download Amazon DS Quick View. And so I'm quickly seeing that here we got 28,000, 76,000. Almost every single book on the first page is under 200K in the Kindle store, which means that this niche is extremely competitive. It's pretty phenomenal, and it's going to be profitable if you can get on page one. Now, keep in mind, if you are a beginner, I probably wouldn't recommend the keto niche. I would look at some other hidden niches that are a little less talked about. But if you want to take a stab at the keto niche and you can get your product on page one, you will be making money every single day. So every single product under 200K in this niche. And here's where I give all my longtime listeners and people that pay attention to me longer than 5-6 minutes, which I don't know what you guys are thinking. I can't even pay attention to myself for that long. Here's why I give you the best tip ever. And that is, don't only put your book on Kindle. You have to put it on Kindle because my next step is going to take you just off the charts. You want to put it on a platform called ACX. So ACX is Audible, and you can actually take your actual Kindle book and sell it on Audible. Now you will need to get it narrated, and there is a bunch of producers in here. And here's where it says right here, 584 producers that can narrate your book. So quick tip here, you want to make sure that you have at least 30,000 words on your ebook, and you want to get that written out. Again, there are actual outsourcers that you can use on Upwork and tons of other sites. I am going to go over in detail in another video how to hire these people. And you want a book that's 30,000 words. And you can come in here and you can actually put a posting so that you can actually get a producer, or you can email individual producers, which is what I do. I've never done a posting, but I message individual producers and I get them to actually give me a quote. So I've got a list of producers. I've got a partner that actually does this all full time, and he's got hundreds of producers that he's actually worked with and or people that he's looking to work with because he listens to their audio samples. Once you get that all put together, you can now list on Audible, and the royalties are much better on Audible. And let's also, just to show you guys and gals out there, here is where you can see the difference in competition. I'm going to go ahead and put keto diet on here, and we're going to notice is there's only 878 results, meaning that's all the books that there are on Audible for keto. But if we jump back over here to Amazon and we take a look at what keto diet showed, over 10,000 results in the Kindle store alone versus the competition on Audible, which is 878. So what that means is, number one, it's a lot easier to rank. Number two, it's a lot easier to seem like you have authority. And number three, it puts more money in your pocket. But once again, when you go in Audible and you take a look at what's happening, the first thing you want to look at is the number of results. If it has over 300 results, it's probably a little competitive or too competitive for a brand new person. But the real actual test to see if this is a niche that is worth doing is to see the amount of reviews on some of the top books. So if a book has 100 reviews or more, that typically means that we have an authority figure or somebody that's selling the shit out of the book. And so we really want to watch out. So in the case of keto, here's one with 112, here's one with 188, here's one with 1100, and here's one with 233. All pretty good indications that we've got a lot of people making a ton of money in this actual niche. And again, it's definitely not something I would try if I was brand new. I would be more or less looking to jump into this niche if I was advanced and or had some marketing tactics up my sleeve and was willing to invest enough money in order to help rank this. Other than that, I would look to go for a less competitive actual niche. And the way I would do that is by going back to the start, going here into the actual Kindle store and then digging for a niche, the same way that I dug for the keto niche. And as you can see, it's actually a pretty simple process, and these books can really make you money long term. I'm talking about every single day. These are very similar to t-shirts. You could have a book that's just out there generating money. In fact, we actually just joked around and we put up a daily affirmations book, which is just a book that's like, it's the sort of like, I will make money this year. And it was just nothing but daily affirmations. And as soon as it listed, it had 2 sales without any promotions whatsoever. So again, this is something that's definitely hot. There's not a lot of competition, and it's pretty easy to sell these things, particularly on Audible. So make sure you not only take step 1, putting it on Kindle, but you also take step 2, get it produced and put it on Audible. And this will generate you money for months and months and even years to come. Again, let me know if you have any questions or comments and post them below. I always personally answer them, and I will see you all in the next video.